Hello, in this video I am going to take you through how to check classified data, look for errors, mistakes, copy and paste errors, misclassifications, anything that you can to make sure that you have the most accurate data set. So this is my fully classified file. Normally it would have a lot more suppliers, a lot more rows, and then this tool becomes much more valuable. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in to this upper pane the segment, family, class, and commodity fields. And I'm just going to stretch those out a bit. And as you can see, within this, some columns have a description or classification, and some don't have anything. Or some have partially classified. And the reason for this is that this is an aggregated view of your normalized supplier. So if you have multiple classifications against one supplier, you will have a blank column here because there's too many classifications to list. However, if you have one classification against that supplier, it will show up. So the purpose of this exercise is to double check that any suppliers that have multiple classifications against them are correct. So the first thing I'm going to do is just select a blank and click keep. And that gives me all the suppliers that have multiple classifications against them. Now, the first thing that sticks out to me is that there's access self-storage. That one, to me, I wouldn't expect to have multiple classifications. Everything else, apart from James Smith, I would expect there to be multiple items. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the data and check. So I'm just going to have a look. And as we can see, there's a misclassification here, lighting, engineering services. That's a clear cut and paste error. So the only thing I'm going to do is just overwrite that. And as you can see, that now populates to one line. As I look down the list, I can see that actually legitimately there are a number of multiple classifications against this. So that all looks good. And even James Smith, that looks like his expenses. So I am going to, that all looks good. And that's everything. So then I would just reset that. And there are a number of other things you can do some spot checks. So you could, example, type taxi in the normalized name. That will bring up all the taxis. You'll then know if it's a taxi. You can also do that with the description. Or you can also do kind of a reverse check, which is if you go down to, say, the class level and you wanted to look at chairs, you can have a look at everything that's been classified as chairs and just make sure in the description that that looks correct. So if we pick something that's got a bit more lines to it, let's have a look at this one. So all these classifications of a hotel are against these two suppliers. And based on the information that's here, that would be correct. Sometimes you'll find that there's something in there that shouldn't be. So that's another really good way of checking. It's really quick, really effective, and really quick to change if it doesn't look right. The other thing I also do is I just check in the panes here. Sometimes you can have something that's in there that shouldn't be and you don't realize. So for example, say I did that. That's now going to show up in here. So again, straight away, just by checking these columns here and the lists, you can check to see if there's anything that shouldn't be there. And just to undo that, I can do data and undo, and that fixes it. So that is a really quick and easy way of checking your data, getting the best results for your data, and using the best information. If you'd like any more help or information with that, please get in touch. Or if you've got any comments, just put them in the box below. Thanks very much.